Uh, let's see here. Grand Cathedral Ward. It's always Cathedral Ward, right? Yeah. I don't know why I haven't think about it. Like, I think 19 times out of 20 it's Cathedral Ward. That's always where we want to go. It's the hub. It's Majula. That is one thing I like about Demon Souls the most, is the Nexus. I still think the Nexus is the best hub world. But even though the Dark Souls 3 hub is pretty much the Nexus, it's like almost the exact same layout. But that's just a problem with Dark Souls 3 in general, I suppose. But Majula, I love the music for Majula. Firelink, it's okay. The main thing with Firelink is you get 10 Estus there. That's the only thing that really creates affection for me. But the Nexus is definitely the one that sticks with me the most. And even though the Demon Souls music is generally just pretty good, with a couple of notable exceptions like Made in Astraea, of course, the music for the Nexus is just perfect. It's like the exact right thing for that scenario. Precisely what I wanted. And it's a very simplistic musical sound, but it works. Majula is fairly simplistic as well, and also works.
You're a beast hunter, aren't you? I knew it. That's precisely how I started out.
I never talked to Alfred, actually.
You may call me Alfred.
It's been a long time.
Protege of Master Ligarius, hunter of vile bloods. So, what say you? Our prey might differ, but we are hunters, the both of us. Why not cooperate and discuss the things we've learned? Oh, very good. Very good indeed. Take this to celebrate our acquaintance. Beast hunting is a sacred practice. May the good blood guide your way.
My screen just flashed green. Apparently it happened on the stream as well. I don't know why. It didn't kill the stream. It just happened. So that was the game doing that. It wasn't... It was the game or the PS4, I suppose. It wasn't the TV. So don't ask me why that happened. I have no idea. If you talk to Alfred, he makes the screen flash green. That's how much of a crazy badass he is. Even though Bloodborne only has a few characters, they all seem to hold more weight than the Dark Souls 3 ones, with the exception of Sigurd, but obviously Sigurd is just a template reproduction of Siegmeyer, which I'm totally fine with, by the way. I really like Siegmeyer. That's one thing I really like about the first Dark Souls, the characters. Though Yurt and Mephistopheles are generally considered a little bit better, I still like Lautrec more personally, just because of the sound of his voice and the way he talks, and just the whole scenario, the mystery of the black eye orb and all that shit worked great. I guess I'll get into this more when I start playing Dark Souls on Tuesday. The DLC's coming out, of course. But the sorcery character, the sorcery guy just fucking disappeared. And that just happens if you don't give him a scroll for a long enough period, I guess. I didn't know that going in. Luckily the best spells for sorcery are the ones you get right at the start, so it doesn't actually matter. But it's still really annoying that my sorcery character can't use Soul Spear or whatever just because I didn't give the NPC a scroll for a while, since I had no idea that I had to. I was in possession of the scrolls, I just didn't give them to him because none of the scrolls gave me any spells I wanted to use in the immediate future. and that fucked me over for the rest of the run, basically. So that kind of design really pisses me off. That's just actively bad design. And that is something that the Souls series has gotten away from over time. There was a lot of that at the start, but it's not as big of an issue anymore. Like having to look up shit, basically.
You know not the value you possess. But what's the pity? The hours of the night are many, and the beasts more than I can count. A veritable hunt unending. Not even death offers solace, and the blood imbibes you. A most frightful fate. Oh my. But I'm willing to do you a kindness. Step lightly round to the right of the great cathedral and seek an ancient, shrouded church. The gift of the Godhead will grant you strength. Yes, I'm unquestionably certain.
I'm not sure why I'm listening to all the dialogue. Don't ask me. Just once it started, I might as well continue. Usually I do that when I'm not talking very well, but today that doesn't seem to be an issue. Unless it's like a particular line of dialogue that I'm fond of. But Patches or Pseudo Patches, whoever that guy is, doesn't. At least that set of dialogue doesn't really interest me that much. The one on the Nightmare Frontier or the Lecture Hall, I like that one. Why am I lost? It's right here. Okay. Lost. And you can see just how ineffectual poison is in this game as I climb this ladder. It's one scroll, 4 bosses, basically. If you don't give them a scroll after you kill 4 bosses, after you've talked to him, then he ditches you for the entire game. Like, it would be one thing if he like moved to Dragon Shrine or whatever it's called, Archdragon Peak, and you had to find him there somewhere obscure. That would be okay. But no, he's just gone from the game, so my sorcery character doesn't have half the sorcery spells now. Isn't that wonderful? Of course the DLC is coming out, so if there's some cool spells there, that'll help mitigate the problem at least. Unless they make up scrolls, then the problem just re-rises. I'd be very angry. Of course, Rifle Spear does have half blood tinge damage. They don't do reduced physical damage to these guys or anything. I'm not sure if it scales with blood tinge or not. You'd assume that it would, but who could say? Like, it scales with B in blood tinge, but that might simply be the ranged attack. It might not actually be. The physical attack. With Chikage, blood tinge only scales in the second form, the bleeding sword form. In every other form it just scales with dexterity, but it still has mixed damage. I like Orbeck because he makes Twin Princess less annoying. Twin Princess is not a very good fight, in my opinion. Like, Twin Princess is mechanically a perfectly sound fight, but the idea of having to kill him 3 times in a row is not very appealing. But you bring her back along, and it's no big deal, even on high no good pluses.
Ah, you make sense. How did you learn your ways here? Well, I won't make any excuses. Would you mind leaving us alone? But if you refuse to leave... Oh well. I always wanted to try my hand on a hunter.
Good old cackling.
This won't hurt a bit.
I'm trying to make a lush strategy this time, which I guess is a little bit lame for just a regular NPC. But Iosefka is actually kind of dangerous, just because the call beyond is really stupid if you give it to NPCs. But there you go, that's Iosefka. Sometimes she does kill me, not very often. I'd say like 1 out of 5 runs, but it does happen. I guess it depends what weapon I'm using and how unlucky I get with the Call Beyond usage. I feel like I should spend my souls, because we're not going to get to the requisite amount. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I just don't explain this very often. By buying Tomb Mold, I'm banking the souls at 1/4 the rate. So now I have 130,000 souls in the bank, instead of having 520,000 souls. The reason I'm doing this is just so I don't have to worry about picking up souls during Shadows of Yharnam, which we will probably beat relatively quickly, but if we don't, then having to worry about the bloodstain is just going to make it a huge pain in the ass. As it kind of was with Amelia earlier. I think I'm at the wrong headstone, right? Yep. Did I never tap it? Ah, shit. It's right here, right? Yep. I just didn't tap the forest bonfire. Whoops. Usually I don't forget, but happens sometimes. This will also be an even longer walk back. It also makes it much simpler to get levels. Like if I know I'm around the point where I have enough souls to level up, then I have X amount of Tomb Mold to cover the rest of it. Of course I have so many souls items, it doesn't actually matter that much. Like, if you want to see some absurdity here, we got 67 Kin Cold Blood 10s, 52 Kin Cold Blood 12, 16 Great One Cold Bloods. Only one of these. These are extremely rare. I've only found one ever. And all sorts of other shit. There you go. I believe the old Great One Cold Blood gives you like 80,000 souls, but it might be 160,000 or something. Which isn't very much, but if you've got a huge number of them, it becomes a lot more. probably not going to do Ligarius today, so it'll be saved for the last stream. The next stream will be the DLC, and then the stream after that will be the last one for Rifle Spear. And once I'm done streaming this, I'll probably start playing Diablo 3 on stream immediately, though I probably won't have a mic on, so it'll just be me chilling out playing that. I could experiment with having a mic on while I play Diablo at some point in the future, but probably not today. Maybe when I do the progression round. For now, I just have to get up to Paragon 800, and then I have all the stats I need more or less. Did I forget to tap the bonfire again? I think I did. Sorry. But Diablo does have a fair amount of focus associated with it. I guess the main thing is just pressing options when your death save procs so you don't die, since I'm playing on hardcore. If I'm paying enough attention to do that, then it doesn't really matter, but who knows how bad I'll be at it while talking. Bloodborne, it doesn't really affect me at all, since I played the game so very much. Usually when like if I die to a boss 10 times in a row or whatever, which generally only happens with Orphan, then I'll stop talking, but it's not because I would play better, it's just because I don't want to sound like an idiot. I really don't know what's hitting me. That was strange. Does he have a weird projectile attack that I'm not aware of? Didn't kill me, so whatever. Nothing to see here. All is well. I guess since we're in the talking mood, I might as well talk to the co-op guy.
Face, are you? And an accomplished hunter, it would appear. I am Volta, Master of the League. Members of the League cleanse the streets of all the filth that's spread about during the hunt. Like any half-decent hunter ought to, you know? Haven't you seen enough of these wretched beasts? Freakish slugs and mad doctors. Sentence these fiends to death with the help of your League confederates. What do you say? Why not join the League? Yes, as a hunter well should. The night brims with defiled scum and is permeated by their rotten stench. Just think, now you're all set to hunt and kill to your heart's content. Hunt in cooperation with your fellows. Your League confederates. Now, there is one thing you must know. By the oath of the League, those who bear its rune will see vermin. Vermin writhe deep within all filth and are the root of man's impurity. All vermin are to be crushed. The League exists to expunge all vermin, ridding us of any trace of human corruption. And so, until we are rid of all vermin, you must continue to hunt and kill. This bloody fate is ours alone. Do not expect the world to grasp our work. But remember, the Confederates will always have my blessing. And each other. Always. The League exists and...
Alright, I guess we can change armor since I haven't done that all stream. Usually I change quite frequently, but not today. Probably because of the 6-hour break. The internet blew up everywhere, and now we're back. And our gender is once more obscured. Or the character's gender, at any rate. If I avoid fighting most stuff, we should be okay to fight shadows. I'll be a little bit low on resources, but not that low. The hippos generally drop a fair number of blood vials. 2 to 4, I think. And we have to fight at least one of those. That's what I wanted. Am I stuck? I guess not. Did have the Mario strats there for a second. There, so we're gonna have 23 probably. I think I just bypass the second hippo. Hippos are very annoying enemies, of course, but so just running past one of them would be a little bit less obvious today. They patched out the magical field that restores your health and stamina at some point. I mean, it took them like a year to do so, but they did eventually patch it. That was like right here-ish. I don't know why it existed in the first place, but it was pretty convenient.